So I'm having a cocktail with friends. It's 11 o'clock at night in the Trump Hotel bar, 6 people around the table. And out of the corner of my eye, and I didn't really realize this at the time, but I see a guy walking towards me. He's wearing a blazer and a button-down shirt. He's on a phone, and he stops as he walks by. He's walking fast. He stops at our table, turns to the whole table and says, "Eric Bolling's son killed himself because he was embarrassed of his dad." You know, that guy could have said anything. He could have said, "I'm a murderer, I'm a rapist, I'm a kidnapper." He could have said anything in the world, and it wouldn't have gotten me to even flinch. But he found the one thing that he knew. I'm grieving, Liz. I grieve every minute of every day. And that was just, I jumped up and I followed him outside. And as I said, you can hear me, I use bad language. And I can't apologize for that. As I turned and walked away from him after the altercation, he kept walking, and I just let him go. I turned, and there's another guy with a camera right in my face. So clearly this was a setup. This was set up to get me to do something that they could have on tape and take me out of the game. I've clearly been pro-Trump for the better part of 3 years, since the day the man came down the escalator. I'm a loud voice, a megaphone in favor of businessman as president doing a great job in the economy. But I'm also a thorn in the left side. I'm also a thorn in the side of people who don't want to see Trump reelected in 2020. And I think that my feeling, my gut, and it's a gut, I don't have any proof of it, but my gut is that this was to get me to not be part of the next year and a half as we go into a 2020 election. It just felt like it was set up, and set up by a group. I don't have facts, but I'm certainly... You know what I did also, Liz?
What you're saying is
put that video...
They were hoping the headline would be something like, Trump supporter Eric Bolling gets violent, and thereby sort of silencing your voice so that you couldn't be the surrogate that you are. Instead, the headlines are, as they should be, the heartlessness of the left on display. And is this how low our political discourse has sunk, that we don't talk about policy issues, we don't even talk about family issues, but we try to find that Achilles heel for our opponent and just come in with that sucker punch until they've keeled over. I mean, that's the headline that they got. But if someone had a camera in your face, I don't blame you for suspecting that they were trying to provoke you into maybe not even just bad language, maybe even some sort of physical altercation.
I will tell you, though, they didn't succeed on a couple of levels. For some way, I had the wherewithal mentally, in a rage of fury, to start taping my actions, because I didn't want to be accused of something I didn't do. And so it shows the insensitivity and the callousness. But children have always been off limits in politics and in life, really. You don't like someone, you don't like their politics, you don't like what they're about. You leave the family alone, you certainly leave the children alone. And they took it one step further and talked about my son, who has passed just 18 months ago, and I'm still grieving. It's just despicable. I'll tell you, Liz, what I didn't do is I didn't put these guys' faces. I have them. I got video. I have video in their face. I know what they look like. I didn't put their faces on TV because if I did, then I wouldn't have the moral upper hand to say this has got to stop. We can't be doing these things to people over politics. Disagree with me, hate me for what I represent, but don't go to stoop to the level of making fun of my dead son. It's just horrendous what they're doing now.